Oh, gnarly, dude. Looks like you just went overboard. Hello there, everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of Overboard. Now, today we're going to be talking about routines. And I don't know about you, but during this quarantine, I have had a really hard time keeping up my daily routines. I kind of just wake up. I'm working from home right now, so I wake up, do work for some hours, and then the rest of my day is just a mess. Whatever I feel like doing, um, I not keeping up on the same things I believe I should be keeping up on, the same routines. So it's been definitely hard
Staying on track.
staying on track. Yeah. And I'm sure probably many other people are feeling this right now. My sleep schedule is a mess. So Jenny, on the other hand, is incredible at making routines. And she decided that she would make a routine for me to follow for a few weeks to see if I can get my life back together.
Yeah, so I love making morning routines. It's honestly like I love making lists in general. So
Weirdo.
yeah, I know. So making morning routines is kind of a part of that, and I'm a big believer that making a streamlined routine helps you go through your day and helps with productivity. Um
She's hella efficient, like
yeah.
crazy efficient.
Yeah, I pride myself in that. So if honestly, if making morning routines or just routines in general for people was a job, that would be a dream job of mine. I love doing this kind of stuff, and um yeah, so today I'm going to help Anthony out with making his morning routine and hopefully give you guys some tips on how to make your own. So I guess we'll just get into that.
What do you got for me?
So, first, I'm just going to ask you some questions to try kind of feel out what you want to get done in a day. So, tell me, like, what are things that you do every day? Maybe not specifically in the morning, but just throughout your day.
Well, like basic hygiene,
Okay. So,
like
yeah,
brushing my
obviously.
teeth. Um, I need to do my hair more because my hair is a rat's nest pretty much. If I don't do it.
Yeah.
Um, I want to do better at skincare routines. Um, Definitely need to start exercising at home more because now that the gym is gone,
Yeah, I know.
your
I'm
boy is
tired.
kind of losing his figure.
I feel like that's something that a lot of people struggle with, whether it's quarantine or not, is finding time to exercise. So we'll cover that once I get into the actual routine part of it. So
Yeah,
keep going.
and God knows how much time I have to exercise
Yeah.
right now. So, um, other than that,
Like productivity wise, like what are things you wish you did or were able to do throughout the day, but maybe you haven't done? So for instance, for me, sometimes occasionally like reading books is something that I like want to have in my daily routine, or um like cleaning my room or making my bed, things like that that I want to be streamlined into my everyday routine. Are there any things like that for you?
I mean, I guess I should make my bed. I don't usually, but yeah, we'll throw that on there. My room's forever just gonna be a mess, so maybe not make that a daily routine, but a once a week routine. And
I've
then
got tips for that too. So
and then you definitely just got to throw video games on there because no matter what, I will make time for video games.
okay.
um,
So video games. Okay, so that gives me a little place to start. Any
and then mixing, some time to mix, and definitely some time to read. I've been trying to read and flex my brain a little bit during this quarantine. So
So the goal of a morning routine, at least for me when I'm making mine, is to try to get as much done within 2 hours in the morning. Um so that I have the rest of the day to do whatever I want. So I want to get everything that needs to be done within the first 2 hours, and it is possible. And I feel like the only thing that a lot of people tend to struggle with when it comes to morning routines is figuring out what time to get up and, you know, having the willpower to get up at that time. So for
Yeah.
instance, with me, obviously not in college right now because of the quarantine and because of I had to drop out. But for me, when I was in college, I had most of my classes start at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock. So I had to be out of the house normally by 8. So I normally got up at 6 in order to complete everything that I needed to complete in the morning. And then that way when I got home from class, I had the rest of my day to do whatever I needed to do. And I continued that same schedule through with my work because my work I had the same like kind of time schedule where I had to leave by around 8, 8:30, and then I was there until like 5 to 6 o'clock. So finding out a time is a big thing. So for you, you have to be to work or right now because we're in quarantine, you have to be online at 8, correct?
Yeah.
So what time for you do you feel would be a comfortable time for you to get up? And it doesn't necessarily have to be 2 hours before. We'll try to, like, work within
I
your time.
mean, I've been waking up at 7:55, and that gives me 5 minutes to get to the office
Okay,
or
well,
get
we're gonna have to
downstairs
go a
to
little bit
my
a little bit
um,
earlier than that.
I think a realistic time would probably be 7,
Okay, so an hour.
7:30, or I mean, do you think I could do what I need in 30 minutes? Probably not, because I wanna be able to eat breakfast before I
Yeah,
start.
so I would say 7 is a good time. That gives you an hour, and with the tips, hopefully that I'll give you, hopefully you'll be able to do this easily, and it won't be something that you find like a struggle, getting up and completing everything. Because I know both me and you have never really been morning people,
I
but I
hate it.
know that when I have my morning routine set up in a specific way, I when I was doing that every morning, I turned into a morning person.
Right.
Like I was waking up really early and I was feeling super energized, which is something that I normally am not, especially in the morning.
Yeah.
So we'll say 7 o'clock is so that gives us an hour to work with before you go to work. So let me just write that down. So you have to be to work at 8 o'clock. Okay. So normally what I suggest is right when you wake up to do some sort of exercise. And I know that sounds like really hard for a lot of people, and a
Oof.
lot of people's habit is to, roll over and grab their phone first thing when they wake up or, lay in bed for whatever amount of time. But when you wake up and you do a workout, doesn't have to be long. It can be like 5 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on what your schedule allows you to do. I normally try to say do at least 10 to 15 minutes of some sort of exercise when you get up. So, right when you wake up, roll out of bed or jump out of bed and do a workout. And I know Anthony is like looking like, yeah, no, right now. But
Yeah, that's, gonna be rough. I
that
don't know
is the
about that.
part that is gonna help you, through the rest of your schedule throughout the rest of the day. So, waking up in the morning and rolling right out of bed into an exercise helps to boost your endorphins, your adrenaline, and your serotonin, which are all things that help you stay energized throughout the day and are also going to help you wake up in the morning to be able to get the rest of the stuff done. The first couple of weeks that you start doing the schedule, especially if you're somebody who's going to be waking up earlier and doing these exercises, you're going to find it probably a little bit hard. But after you've got it down, it really becomes like such a great thing and you become so energized and you get everything done so much quicker than if you were to not do the exercise. Like if you were to do the exercise later in this morning routine, you probably wouldn't be as energized and wouldn't complete the tasks that you have to get done as quickly. So that's why I say to do an exercise the first, like right when you wake up.
I could see that. Yeah, I've heard a lot about exercising first thing in the morning helping you boost your productivity for the day. So
Yeah, and again, just do
it's going to be
whatever
hard.
fits into your schedule. I know like millionaires and stuff, obviously they normally get up really, really early at like 5 o'clock and then they do like a 45-minute to an hour workout as part of their schedules, which is one of those things that you see why it works so much because they get so much done throughout the day. So that's the first tip would be doing an exercise right when you get up. Um, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Obviously, I don't like to do high intensity workouts right when I wake up. So I might suggest um like a medium intensity, or even if you just want to do a stretching session in the morning, just anything that
A
gets
little
you
bit
right
of
out of
morning
bed.
yoga.
Yeah. So for you, I know you like to do like push-ups and stuff. So maybe getting down and just starting doing push-ups for, a couple minutes when you wake up just to start. And then as you continue with this process, you'll be able to go longer and longer and do more exercises.
Kind of sounds like you're trying to give me a heart attack.
No, not at all. It's honestly the complete opposite because you know me, I take naps all the time. But whenever I have a set routine, like the one I'm going to help you with today, like naps are completely eliminated, which is crazy because I'm getting up twice as earlier than I normally do.
Right. Huh.
So, moving on, I would say probably go into eating or your hygiene right after that. So, after 5 to 10 minutes of working out cuz we're doing an hour, right? So, we've got 7, so 7 to 7:10 you're going to do your workout. Say 10 minutes for right now. And then you can, whatever, do longer if you find you have more time. Um, then I would say go up and make breakfast. What do you normally eat for breakfast? How long would you say that normally takes you?
It depends on what I make. It can take anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. Like if I make eggs, it's probably going to take 30 minutes but
Okay.
sometimes I just eat cereal and cereal takes like less than 5.
So I'm just going to say we'll allot 20 minutes. So by 7:30 you'll have breakfast. And then we're going to go into your skincare after that. Try to do this in like a way that makes sense to you because obviously exercising you're still in your room, then you're going out, you're eating, um and then you're going into the bathroom and you're doing your hygiene stuff like brushing your teeth and stuff after you've eaten. Also, if you're somebody out there who brushes their teeth and then eats, what is wrong with you? That is so odd.
Yeah, you should probably get some help because
So it makes
yikes.
sense to go eat breakfast and then go in and to do your hygiene. So we'll say we'll say I would say that probably takes 10 to 15 minutes, right?
Um,
If you're gonna brush your teeth, you got 2 minutes for that,
to
and
do it
then
all, yeah, probably like
wash your
10 minutes,
face,
20.
probably 2 minutes for that.
But my hair takes a long time. That would take a full 20 minutes all together,
What do you mean your hair? What are you doing to your hair?
like wetting it and getting product in there
Hmm.
and detangling it, kind of.
Wetting it? Like fully wetting it?
No, just a little bit. Because if I fully wet it, my hair it damages my hair.
I think you're over allotting too much time to that. I don't think that's gonna take you as long as you think it will.
I've timed it. My
Have you?
hair is literally a nest.
Okay, so we'll say what'd you say? How long?
I would say 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. Well, that's putting us back a little bit.
Okay, 15 minutes.
Okay. Well, we're also trying to fit all of this into an hour. I normally suggest trying to do 2 hours. So if you were to get up at 6, the schedule would be different and you'd be able to fit a lot more in it. But since we're just doing an hour, we'll do
15
15
minutes
minutes.
sounds reasonable.
So that brings us to 7:45, and we got hygiene there. And then you want to make your bed in the morning. So I would probably just go in and make your bed and then do what I call a 2-minute tidy up, where if there's clothes on your floor or there's something on your dresser or you've got cups or anything, you get rid of all of that or do as much as you can in the 2 minutes that you have.
A 2-minute tidy up? That's
2 minute.
really clever.
Well, and it works a lot more than you probably think because rather than, waiting a week to clean everything
Right.
and spending,
And
2, 3 hours trying to get everything cleaned up every day, if you just do 2 minutes, you don't have anything to pick up or anything extensive to pick up, you know what I mean? Because 'Cause you've
right, you're
already been
kind of
doing
just like
it.
continuously cleaning up
Yeah, so we're
in
gonna
that 2
do
minutes. That's nice. That's actually a good idea. Like do it over time rather than waiting for all your
stuff to
mess
pile
to
up.
pile up and then having to spend hours cleaning it.
Yeah, so then you just have it all done and you don't have to worry about it. And you come back if you are going to work and everything's done,
Pro tip.
everything's clean and tidy and you feel good, which relieves stress. Um, and then so we're gonna do clean bed and or clean bed, make bed, and clean room. We'll say 5 minutes for that, so that brings us 7:50. And then you also said you want to read. So I know this is
Well, I
only
guess I
there's
wouldn't really throw that in a morning routine. I just want to be able to allow that into my day at some point.
okay.
So, like lately, I've been trying to read before I go to bed.
That's a good way to do it, is to do it before you go to bed.
Yeah, because
It helps you sleep.
it takes your mind off things too before you go to sleep. I mean, it gives you more things to think about, but it takes your mind off like things that might make you anxious and keep you from falling asleep because you're thinking about them too much.
Mhm.
Like I've been reading like fantasy books before I go to sleep, so my dreams are usually some weird type of fantasy dream.
Yeah. So that leaves you 10 minutes to do whatever, maybe a lot more time to some of these other things. Again, if you were to get up even like 30 minutes earlier, you would be able to add a little bit more into your routine, like maybe spending 30 minutes to work on mixing. I always say, so here I'm going to go through like tips of things that you can do in the morning if you do 2 hours. So obviously exercise is the first thing that I suggest that you do when you wake up because it's going to help you get the routine done faster. Second thing, obviously probably eating, doing your hygiene, stuff like that. Then making your bed, making sure everything's clean, and then doing 30 minutes of learning something. So learning time. So whether that be reading something or learning how to do something that you've always wanted to do, like maybe learning a language or like for Anthony, learning how to mix, just whatever that is, but try to spend 30 minutes on it. It's a lot easier if you have 2 hours or even an hour and a half because you have, the first hour to get your main things done and then the second hour to do other little tasks that you might wanna get done that you might not have time on a regular occasion to do. Another thing about the exercise is when you're doing the exercise in the morning, if you're somebody who maybe you don't know like when you're going to work out throughout the day or not able to fit it in, if you do the like 10 minutes every morning, you don't feel as guilty if you don't get to the gym or, get to do a workout that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I could see it. Yeah, like even 10 minutes of a small workout, if you do it first thing in the morning, at least you did something.
Yeah,
And like
exactly.
10 minutes every day
Adds
over
up.
time adds up instead of not doing it every day and then
Right. And then
trying to fit
trying
it
to do
all
it again.
fitting all your workouts into that one time you can get to the gym a week or something.
Right.
Um, yeah.
And then some tips for night routines, like Anthony said, reading before bed is a good thing to help you calm your brain. Also, doing to-do lists at night are a really good idea because when you do them at night, the night before, when you wake up the next day, you don't have anything to worry about because you'll have your morning routine already scheduled out and then your to-do list is already done. And so it eliminates the need for you to have to really think in depth about things, which alleviates a lot of stress that you might feel throughout the day.
And that would even help you get to bed faster because if you make the to-do list before you go to sleep,
Mhm.
you've kind of already thought about all the things you need to do
The next
for the
day,
next
yeah.
day. And so you don't go to bed
Trying to think about what you
trying
need
to
to
think
do,
about what you need to do. Like,
which keeps people up a lot at night. Like,
yeah.
oh, what do I need to do tomorrow? So doing a to-do list right before you do go to bed is always a good idea. Um, One thing that successful people do is they always try to streamline their day, which makes it so that, like, if you've ever met somebody who's been really successful and you wonder why they're so chill and they don't really seem stressed about anything, it's because
They're on drugs.
no, it's because they already have thought everything through. They have a planned out morning routine. They normally are done with their entire work day by like 1 o'clock. So then they have the entire day to do whatever, and then they do these little steps like reading at night and doing the to-do list. And then if you ever notice that a lot of successful people kind of wear the same thing every day, they don't really have many different types of clothes in their closet. They kind of just wake up and since they pretty much only have the exact same clothes, they wear the exact same thing every day, which eliminates their need um to think about what they're going to wear that day, which is another thing that many of us spend a lot of time doing.
I know when I get ready to go out and I need to get dressed, I will spend about like a good solid 10 minutes looking in my closet,
Yeah,
thinking about
just
what I'm
trying to
going to wear
find
for the day.
something. So, having a streamlined routine, even if it's just in the morning and not something at night, it will help alleviate stress. It'll up your energy levels. If you're dealing with anxiety or depression, it really helps because you don't really have to think about anything and you're just all set. So, you're not worrying about anything else. You know what I mean?
And yeah, and I feel like if you do, especially for like people who have anxiety and depression, I feel like if you can get as much of those things done early in the morning,
Hmm.
I think it would take a huge load off because I think a lot of the time what happens, right, is like a lot of us work and have trouble.
Fulfilling the things that you want to get done.
Yeah, because if you work early in the morning, you probably aren't. Some of us maybe are getting up early, some of us aren't getting up early, but if you don't do all that stuff in the morning at first when it's fresh in your
Then
mind,
you're too tired to do it when you get back out of work
yeah,
or
you get out of work and you're just too tired to do it, and your brain like
yeah, you'd have to
is
think.
is is mush kind of by the end of a work day because you've already utilized it so much. So it's hard to like continue to do the tasks that you want, to learn the things that you want, um, to keep up the routines that you want later in the day, especially if you work early, because you just drain yourself.
Yeah,
So if you can at least try to get as much done before you go to work in the morning by waking up a little bit earlier, you probably would feel
benefit.
I don't know, benefit, feel a lot better, and to be honest, you probably sleep better too.
And I can vouch for this because I am somebody who struggles with both anxiety and depression. And so whenever I do have the morning routine set up or just a full day routine set up, it I'm more energized to do things. I'm less nervous, I guess, and less like,
Anxious.
well, yeah, that's well, yeah, I'm less anxious. I sleep better. I get so much more done. And like I was saying earlier, whenever I get out of work or school, a lot of the times I would come home and I would be so tired that I would need to go take a nap. But when I was doing my morning routine every day in the correct way, I was getting everything that I needed to do done in those 2 hours that I had in the morning. So then when I came back, like, I wasn't really even tired. I didn't need to take naps. And then if I did, I didn't feel bad because I had already done everything in the morning that I needed to do. So it wasn't like something where I was like, oh, I need to take a nap right now. I'm so tired, but I can't take a nap because I need to get other stuff done. Or if I don't do it, and then, that creates a ton of anxiety and depression there too, because you're like, oh,
Yeah, you feel
I'm
guilty.
tired, but I need to do all this stuff and I can't take care of everything and blah blah blah. So having a morning routine really helps with that, or having a morning and night routine, and then kind of just having your midday. Most people have, either work or school or something in the middle of the day that you work on. So for me, my morning routine was I would wake up at 6 o'clock. I would roll out of bed. I would do normally like 15 to 20-minute workout or a stretch. Just normally, I looked up something up on like YouTube or something to watch and go along with. Then I always kept a water next to my bed, and I would grab my book that I was reading at the time, and I would read for 30 minutes and drink my glass of water. And then after I was done reading and drinking, I would go upstairs, have breakfast, do my hygiene routine, come back downstairs, make my bed, do the 2-minute tidy up, and then I normally would do like 20 minutes to 30 minutes of like learning time. So picking something that I wanted to learn and sitting down and doing that. And then if I had any homework left over that I needed to do, or if I had some sort of, like I do photography, if I needed to contact people or email anybody, I would do that all before I left the house to go to school or work. And then when I came home, I didn't have to think about anything else. It was just all done with, and I could spend that time doing like a more learning if I wanted to, or doing something fun, or going to the gym, or I just had a lot more time to do things. So that's why I think morning routines are super important to have, and why I like making them for other people too. And I think they're beneficial for anyone.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's kind of proven. Kind of.
Yes.
um,
So for Anthony, we're going to get up. We're going to do the workout for 5 to 10 minutes. Then you're going to go get whatever you need for breakfast, come back in, do your brush your teeth, do your acne routine or your face care routine, do your hair, and then you're going to make your bed and do the 2-minute tidy up. And then all of that is done for the day. So then hopefully when you get done with work, then that could be the time that you practice mixing or whatever,
do
you
those
need.
things that I need to do for the rest
Yeah,
of the day.
because 'cause you've already had everything
Yeah.
else done.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna try out this routine for a couple of weeks,
Yeah, and we'll see
and
how he
we'll
does,
see how I do, and
and maybe
then we'll
make
make
some
up.
tweaks to it.
Yeah, we can make some tweaks into it. Um, the next time we pick this topic back up.
And if you guys have any suggestions for what you think people should do in the morning or just throughout the day that can help streamline and promote productivity and energy, let us know by heading over to our Overboard Instagram, which is Overboard X Podcast. That's Overboard, the letter X Podcast, and just leave us a DM or comment telling us what your tips would be for us, and maybe we'll share that in another future podcast.
Yeah. And also for those listeners that are using an iPhone or an Apple product, We recently just started streaming on Apple Podcast. So you can find Overboard Podcast on Apple Podcasts now with ease, and we are still on Spotify and Anchor. So share with your friends.
Yep, and we'll be expanding to other podcasting streaming sites soon, and we'll keep you guys updated as we do so. So, thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Overboard, and we will see you next time.
See ya. We'll get to steadier waters eventually.